Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. In this video, we will discuss the differences between the Nation of Islam versus Al-Islam or Orthodox Islam. Now, I'm going to say this right here, right off the bat. This is not a video to disrespect the Nation of Islam. I believe the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan has did a great deed for Black Americans, for Black people. I believe that he is a rock, but I'm just going to show you guys the differences, and who is going to be bringing us this lecture today is my favorite Shaykh, the brother Khalid Yasin. So without further ado, let's get into this video.
Now, they were not Muslims, but that's what they called themselves, Nation of Islam. I say they're not Muslims because in their own newspaper today, they're the same people. They say Allah came in the form of a man in 1935. A black man.
Got to correct you there. It's a white man by the name of Farad Muhammad. He's going to say that, but I'll show you guys the image of Farad Muhammad. He definitely was. Some say he was born in Oregon. You know, some say he was born in Lebanon, Afghan, so on and so forth. But, yeah, if you look at him, he definitely doesn't look black. Some say he had a black father, an Arab mother. This guy is a very mysterious character, but I'll allow the brother Khalid to continue.
And his name was Master W. Farad. So that's kufr. That's shirk. And they say that this man, Master W. Farad, who was supposed to be Allah in the person, nominated and selected Elijah Poole or Elijah Muhammad as his messenger and prophet. That's another form of kufr and another form of shirk. So kufr, kufr, shirk, shirk. So Elijah Muhammad said that there was no paradise, no hereafter. Another form of kufr, another form of shirk.
By the way, kufr means to outrightly disobey Allah. Associate partners, that's shirk, honestly. Rejecting the truth after recognizing it. Sorry, here. There we go. Denial of Allah and His messenger. So to associate another partner with Allah by saying Farad Muhammad came in the form of Allah, that's shirk. And kufr is performing acts of others or uttering statements that contradicts Islamic teachings and can constitute kufr. So what Nation of Islam does, most definitely,
he said that paradise is in this life and hellfire is in this life. And resurrection is only in the mind. So this is kufr again. So kufr, 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 kufr now. And
whoa, what's that?
I just built a budgeting app in Base 44.
Guys.
he said that the Quran was given to him by Allah, Master W. Farad, to be interpreted for this time only for the black man. Another form of kufr. So 5 times kufr. So they're pure kafirs. The man called Louis Farrakhan, Minister Louis Farrakhan. No doubt he is the student and the follower of Elijah Muhammad, and he has built a platform upon that same platform. And we have to give credit where credit is due. They are kafirs, pure kafirs, because they are still saying today exactly what Elijah Muhammad said in 1945. They are still saying today in their newspaper, anyone can go to www. Nation of Islam or www. The Final Call. Go to www. The Final Call or www.
Yeah, and you see with the Nation of Islam, like their shahada, like our shahada is La ilaha illallah Muhammadan abduhu rasuluh. A Nation of Islam shahada goes something like, praise and blessings be upon Allah, who came in the form of Master Fard Muhammad and gave Elijah Muhammad the Quran. That's how they shahada goes. Something like that. I wish I had the specifics of it, but Elijah Muhammad and Fard Muhammad is definitely in their shahada.
The Nation of Islam, and you will see that they say today exactly what Elijah Muhammad said in 1945, no difference. Even though Minister Farrakhan, as he calls himself, makes Hajj maybe every 5 years. Even though his followers, he's taking with him every year 150, 250, 350 of his followers to Hajj every year. And
so he's taking his followers to Hajj every year. So the Arabic or the Islamic government that allows you to get into Mecca accepts this version of Shahada, you know, which is interesting.
He's being invited to make Hajj by the people in Saudi Arabia. I don't know why.
So it's hard to say they're not Muslims if the Islamic society and the government system allows 250 members from the Nation of Islam to come into Mecca, which you have to be a Muslim in order to get into Mecca. You know, you just, you know, even though they're Muslims living in Kufr and Shirk, they're still Muslims somehow.
I don't know why. He's the guest of the government. And they're making Hajj every year. And every single year in Chicago, he has something called Savior's Day. In Chicago, this is their big day. This is their Eid. And every year, the Azhar University sends their representative to Savior's Day. I'm not blaming the Azhar University. I'm saying the biggest sheikh from there is there every year.
So universities in Arabia are actually coming to Savior's Day. Interesting.
One of the imams from the Haram will be there in Chicago every year. The leaders of the biggest Islamic organizations in America will be there every year. Why those people are supporting Minister Farrakhan, why they're praying with him, why they're sitting with him, why they're giving him credence, I don't know. But Allah is the witness. You can get it on DVD. And he says clearly, if I'm wrong, why is the whole Muslim world representatives here with me today? So this is one of the reasons, na'udhu billah, that his organization continues, because it is given the support and the credence and the recognition by some of the biggest organizations, Muslim organizations in the world. Although they are pure kafirs, meaning Minister Louis Farrakhan and his group. Those who are supporting him, they are not kafirs, they are Muslims. Why they are supporting, why they're recognizing, Allahu A'lam. It's not for me to say. But I have to make the record straight. Khalid didn't say this. You can go to www, Nation of Islam, www, Final Call, and you will see their Savior's Day. Put it in there, Savior's Day, Nation of Islam, and you will see all the videos, and you will see all the shuyukh from the Haram, from Jordan, Mufti from Lebanon, the Mufti from Jordan, the Mufti from so-and-so, the Mufti from this place, the Imam of the Haram, the head of ISNA, the head of ICNA, the head of all the Islamic organizations. They are there with him, shaking hands and embracing him like he is a Muslim. Walau. In spite of that, his organization, it is not growing, because one of the beautiful things about Islam is that a liar is a liar, and his lie does not grow after him. It either stays where it is or it becomes smaller and smaller. But a prophet is a prophet, and his message grows after him, greater than it was even while he was living. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has caused this nation to grow, the real Islamic nation, and he has caused the nation of the liar to be as it is. And when Farrakhan dies, that lie will become smaller and smaller until it rots away. And we ask Allah that those people who are following him with sincerity, that they will become Muslims, inshallah.
Dude, guess how much it cost me to make sure my family gets $1 million if something ever happens to me? You'll never get it.
We have to give credit.
See, the difference is they don't fast for Ramadan either. So when the Ramadan comes about, you know why? They don't fast for Ramadan. Neither their prayers, like they pray standing up, almost like making a dua. They don't go through sujood and all the other forms of prayer. They don't do that as well. So they definitely have developed their own form of Islam that is very far left of Orthodox Islam. And what the brother is saying is the reason why the nation isn't growing to this day is because they are practicing Islam in kufr and practicing Islam in shirk. And shirk is associating partners with Allah, meaning saying the master Farad Muhammad came down in the form of Allah, you're saying Allah has a partner. That's no different than saying Jesus is God. No disrespect to the Christians, that's just our beliefs, that Jesus is not God. Or was no partner of Allah, but a mere prophet. Once again, no disrespect, that's our beliefs. Christians, I understand that you guys have your beliefs, and I respect your beliefs and the foundations of your belief, and I believe that you have enough chapters and verses in the Bible to justify your beliefs. I'll keep going.
However, that Elijah Muhammad, although he was a liar, although he was not a prophet.
I hate that he calls him a liar, and this is my brother Khalid Yassin, but if he doesn't know what he's doing, right, if he is firm in his belief, then I wouldn't call him a liar. Maybe he'll get into the phrases why he calls him a liar, but I don't.
Although
I don't
he said lies about Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he was a social reformer. What is a social reformer? A social reformer is a man who helps people to come from the lowest form of social degradation until they come to a level of self-esteem. Elijah Muhammad was successful in causing men and women who were drunkards, drug addicts, prostitutes, pimps, criminals. He was able to reform them and clean them up and make them into productive people, fathers, mothers, businessmen, and distinguished people and respectful people. Men like Malcolm. Because Malcolm was not the only one like himself. This is what you need to know. There were thousands of people that was like Malcolm X, but they did not have his voice. Allah didn't give them the same gift. But their conviction, their sincerity, their social reform was just like Malcolm. Because they said Islam, because they said Quran, because they stopped drinking, because they stopped drugging. You see, when a person stops drinking and drugging and fornicating and stealing and lying and all these kinds of things, they become clear-headed, clear-hearted. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, because they were making shirk, He never gave them the huda. He never gave them the huda. And there are many people. Jehovah's Witness, they are clean people. Jehovah's Witness, clean people, but they are mushrikeen. The Mormons, clean people, mushrikeen. Seventh-day Adventists, clean people, mushrikeen. So many of the people, they are clean, they're morals, they don't steal, they don't lie, they love God, they do this. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, إِنَّ الَّذِينَ كَفَرُوا مِنْ أَهْلِ الْكِتَابِ وَالْمُشْرِكِينَ فِي نَارِ جَهَنَّمَ خَالِدِينَ فِيهَا أُولَٰئِكَ هُمْ شَرُّ الْبَرِيَّةِ إِنَّ الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا وَعَمِلُوا الصَّالِحَاتِ أُولَٰئِكَ هُمْ خَيْرُ الْبَرِيَّةِ. They are sharrul bariyah because they are making shirk against Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and they are lying against Allah.
I like his enunciation and pronunciation of the Arabic words. Like, you don't you don't hear too many people that speak Arabic that still sounds like their natural native tongue. Like a lot of times when the brothers speak Arabic, like black people, even myself sometimes, I found myself enunciating the words like I have like a native Arabic tongue. But Khaled, you can still hear his voice. Some people actually transform when they start speaking Arabic, like you don't even hear their voice anymore. But this brother pronunciation of the Arabic word and the language is just beautiful.
أولئك هم شر. Allah says, إن الذين they love God, they do this, but Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, إن الذين كفروا من أهل الكتاب والمشركين في نار جهنم خالدين فيها أولئك هم شر البرية إن الذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات أولئك هم خير البرية. They are sharrul bariyah because they are making shirk against Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and they are lying against Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and they're lying about the deen of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and they have polluted the deen of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So Allah has polluted their lives, and He has prepared for them Jahannam, even though we might think they are pious.
Struggling to build your sales pipeline? Finding the best prospects feels impossible? Meet Katie.
University, I'm saying
I can go through this brother videos all day. All day. But yes, NOI, Nation of Islam, where it still is a group of black reformers. They did a wonderful thing. Like we had something called the Million Man March here in America, and 2 million blacks and whites got together and marched on Washington. It was the most epic thing in the history of black America. So we cannot throw these guys in the garbage. We just ask that may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala guide them to true Islam. You know, I see the brother Ben X out there. He's making some good videos, kind of debunking like with shirk, that they practice shirk and so on and so forth. But brother Ben, you have to come home, brother. And trust me, I get it. You know, the bow ties and the suits and not wanting to look and dress like an Arab. Trust me, I'm with you on that. I get it. But you can't fully receive your blessings if you're practicing Islam and shirk. You might be a good person, right? You might not drink, you might not smoke, but you're going against the will of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala by practicing Islam the way that you do. So may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bring you guys closer to the deen, guide you to the straight path, and bring you back home. Sensei.